It's the Leg It Sportcast. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neal.
Massive thank you again to Monterex. I feel like I'm repeating myself every time. It's horrible doing this, but again, it's not horrible saying that they're sponsored by us because it's a belter sponsor. We massively appreciate it. You get 15% off if you type Leg It in at checkout. Always wearing the gear. You got yours on
Every day, mate.
I'm on Rick Vey Foundation today. Again, if you're going to do any charity runs, make sure it's for them. And if you're going to buy any sports gear, make sure it's Monterex.
Honest to God, never out of it. School runs, meetings, everything.
Boss. Yeah, another belter week in sport. Champions League back, Premier League back.
Yeah,
We've had US Open, boxing. Well, not so much great for boxing, but
no.
It's been all kinds.
They called out Fiore though, that's a bit of a laugh.
We'll start on boxing then, because I know you had a bit of a sour taste in your mouth last week.
Bad.
And it was justified, to be fair.
Van der Holyfield got chinned by some juicehead, which was disgusting to see. Literally could have died. Like,
how ironic it was that it come on a weekend when someone did die in the ring as well.
Exactly, mate. And obviously then you got idiots like... I've said it about David A before. He's obviously spent all the money that he earned for Bellew. And he wins against his mate on points and then says, Tyson Fury's scared of me. No, he's not. He's not. You can say what you want about Fury and you can be Team AJ or Team Fury, you do whatever you want, but he's not scared of David A.
No.
And yeah, it was a very, very, very sad week for boxing. I mean, yeah, it was just, there was no shining lights really. It was tough. I mean, the only good thing is that as we get into next week when Joshua Usyk goes on, then after that there's just top level boxing week after week after week after week, top level UFC. But for now we've got another quiet week where we've just got to deal with that shit.
I was going to say that because since we've been doing the sportscasting, I've got right into the boxing, and it's most weeks it's proper exciting listening to you talk about it, and then I've ended up watching it when in the past I probably wouldn't. And it's been like, wow, getting better. We're going to be going the Smith fight. We've got Joshua fighting in a massive fight with Usyk, and then it's just got burst big time last weekend, didn't it?
Yeah. Boxing just has this mad tendency to like just self-combust. Do you know what I mean? You can you look at the boxing schedule from next week. Obviously you got sort of Joshua, then you got Fury Wilder if it happens, you got Smith Fowler, and then you just got Crawford versus Porter announced. Canelo's against Plant, all these fights brilliant, but every now and then boxing just likes to throw a little we are still a shit show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll always have these fucking freak shows.
Did you watch it then, did you? Or no?
Not a fucking second of it.
I actually didn't I actually didn't even know what happened to David A, so he won on points.
Won on points against his mate, yeah. He didn't even punch him, apparently. Just jabbing him to the body and carrying on. Both got paid. Apparently he got paid as much as you got paid for Bellew.
No way.
Apparently.
No.
For this thriller thing, it's like a sport entertainment. But
who's paying though? Because I don't know anyone who's paying.
Today the figures came out. So today we're recording Thursday evening, yeah. The figures came out. They only sold 150k pay-per-view buys, I think it was. Which means the purses aren't even covered, so someone's lost a lot of dough in America. But fucking right, they should. The quicker they can, realise that this is not a big money spinner, this is not going to make you rich.
No.
Get out, you know what I mean? And I've got no problem, we've said this before, I've got no problem with exhibitions. Like, Logan Paul against Floyd Mayweather or whatever, or Floyd Mayweather going to Japan for an exhibition, no problem, because you're selling it as, I'm Floyd Mayweather, I was the best boxer of my generation, I'm coming over to Japan, you all get to see me, I'll do a few pictures, a few autographs, great. That's fine, no problem with that. Muhammad Ali did one of them, but they're starting to sell it as like boxing, like Van der Holyfield at 60 of age.
It's sad, isn't it?
It's dangerous.
He's older than me, half fella.
He shouldn't have to fight though. He should have, for what he done, he's obviously fighting because the money's not there anymore. And it brings up a whole new, conversation about, planning for your retirement and, things being in place for you. And whether he is suffering from, brain damage, because certainly fucking looks that way.
Yeah. So that was last weekend's bit of a bitter pill for any real boxing fans. We did have the US Open come to a climax, which was a bit gutting on the Saturday. Novak Djokovic getting beat.
Yeah.
I had him in a little double. Never came off.
The interview was great at the end though.
I've not actually seen it.
He was just like, just want to say this before I lift me trophy. I think you're the best tennis player of all time.
Did he?
I'm about to lift me trophy, but you are boss. You know what I mean? And just,
that's nice.
Tennis is great like that, isn't it?
I switched off, mate, after he got beat. I was gutted for him, though, mate.
Yeah.
He was so. Have you seen how close Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic all are?
Ridiculous.
They're all on 29, I think it is. Or
Mate, you'll never have free tennis players like that again. You'll never have free sportsmen at the top of the sport like that again.
oh, it's mad how it's just ridiculous. Again, it almost makes me feel sorry for Andy Murray that he was around when these three monsters were about.
Christmas and I was sit across with him. Why not just wait 5 years? I'd have been fucking unstoppable.
Just stay on the pill for just another few years more,
I'd have
Mike.
been unstoppable, you bitch.
Yeah. So he was the Saturday, and then
Raducanu.
my God, what a match! I'll be honest, right? I watched it again with my little girl on the Wednesday. I think it was. I picked her up from school, like, a few days after it happened. I said, there's this girl from England, she's 18, she's just won this tournament, and I sat down, I was going to say mate to watch it. Alba was loving it, and I just think
so
it was so inspiring.
So good for young girls to be able to look at a girl who's not, essentially is, she's an adult obviously by age, but essentially a girl at the very start of her life and doing such unbelievable stuff. It was great the fact that, people questioned the mental strength and that, didn't they? Like, Kevin Peterson, Piers Morgan, people like that. Were like, you're not going to do this, and then she goes and wins the US Open.
Not even like goes and wins it years later.
Dominates
6 months later.
Yeah, just... I know someone asked on Instagram, didn't they, if it's the best British
one of the questions, I mean...
I don't know whether it might be like...
In tennis, it's got to be.
Yeah, mate. That's going to be told, that story's going to be told about the 18-year-old who went and won the US Open in... hundreds of years.
I don't think it's ever been done from a wild cards from she like.
And she had to play like 3 qualifying rounds.
Yeah, she played like an extra week of tennis to do it. So there was so many mad stats that came out about that triumph. It was unbelievable, and the fact she's 18.
The humility with it. The humility is just.
I think even Klopp spoke about it, didn't he? Did you hear Klopp? How mature and how, like you say, humble he were.
I seen someone say to it the other day, they were like, this has happened, or you've won X amount of money, your life's going to change. She was like, I don't really think like that.
Yeah.
It's like, all this madness going on around there, and she's just like, yeah.
To be a little bit negative, and it's nothing to do with her, it's probably just an American thing. When they presented, you see the award thing, doing the interviews and then the award, and it's like, and here to present, before they give her a trophy, they're like, here to present your check for $2.5 million is our sponsors, US Bank or whatever. And don't get me wrong, if I'm getting £2.5 million, I'm happy. But I just think, like, just leave the beauty of sport for a minute. Give her the money later. And it was like this big check handing over process.
I think the best thing about it, though, is like, she's not, you fucking haven't seen her in interviews wearing the big chain or like a Rolex or nothing, you know?
Not yet, anyway.
But she is just sort of like,
I just think, like, though, imagine if they'd went to, like, Henderson, like, before you lift the European Cup, mate, you've just banked John Henry over there, another 60 mil.
Yeah.
It's just like, leave the money out of it, give her the beauty of sport. But
that was the beauty as well. Like, she's a fucking superstar, and she literally is, like, every fibre of her is an absolute superstar, isn't it? And, for me, someone who strongly hates Piers Morgan, it was just a lovely little moment to be like, how dare someone like that question someone's mental strength? Like, do you know what I mean?
You know what, mate? I normally think he's all right sometimes, but he's been a bellend a lot in his life. If the hacking kids thing is true, he's obviously a fucking...
Yeah.
But in general, I think he sometimes gets it right sometimes, but for that, he was so wrong.
I think what she done as well was great, because she didn't acknowledge anyone who ever was negative about it. She didn't win and go, that's what mental strength is, or did.
Yeah.
She was just like, this is what I do.
She's just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in my lane. Yeah. Bulletproof, just boom.
But now it's just stratosphere stuff in it. It's like,
yeah,
the amount of sort of corporate deals she's going to be offering.
Oh yeah. Well, they reckon 100 million in a year. Did she be on?
I mean, she will have anyone who's worth anything, company wise, will be wanting their face right at the front.
Because she's such clean cut. She's young. She's I seen a thing and it was like, this is her winning her first tournament, and she was like something like 12, and it was like an under 17 tournament or something like that.
I think we had a link to it as well. Seen someone tweet she played in the Liverpool
Yeah.
Liverpool was a chill wall or something like that.
Yeah.
She was like 15 or something.
Amazed. Again, just a proud dad moment. I picked Albert up the next day from school with my dad. And I said, oh, Albert, tell Grandad what we watched last night. And she went, Emma Radu something it was called. I don't know. She won the tennis. And I was like, you've remembered? 24 hours on, you remember? And she was like, I was talking to my teacher about it. My teacher watched it.
Yeah.
I was like, hopefully, I mean, listen, she might end up not watching another tennis game in her life, but you never know. My daughter might go, God, I remember sitting here with your dad when that Emma Raducanu. It was one of those great sporting moments. So for the question, was it? I don't think it was the greatest British sporting achievement ever, but
no.
In tennis, yeah.
I don't know if it's probably, the best, but I think it's definitely one of the most historic. No matter, I'll be sitting with my grandkids at some point and that will come up in a conversation, do you know what I mean? Of like, who was that 18-year-old who won the US Open? Do you know what I mean? It'll always be a part of history now.
Yeah.
And tennis, by the way, just to like go off on a tangent, I watch tennis at the top level and every single time I watch a game like that, Djokovic's game was the same. I think next season I'm watching all the tennis tournaments.
Hey, glad go on my Amazon. If I picked up my phone, guess what's coming on Tuesday? A couple of rackets, lad.
Really? Where are you playing? Get me involved.
The kids' rackets, lad. Me and Albert are going, lad.
Love it.
Lad,
I've got a tennis club like 100 yards from me.
We'll start it. Albert and Sophia, lad, are going to be the next Venus and Serena.
Oh, right.
No, lad, I bought tennis rackets. Albert was that into it. I went, right, boom, Amazon, 25 quid. 3 balls, 2 rackets coming on Tuesday.
I love it. She signed up for
my Instagram for the next couple of weeks. She's just going to be smacking balls at me 7-year-old.
You're just acing Albert.
Pinging Albert.
But no, it's one of them sports. I watch it every time. Usually, to be honest, it was Wimbledon that usually gets me. And I go, do you know what, I'm watching it next year. But
the US Open is one of those sporting moments. I just think the blue court, that clay, I'd love to watch the US Open.
Yeah, it's such an entertaining game, isn't it?
So we had that. We had one of the messages was to get more Formula 1 chat.
Good for me.
I'll be honest, not massive into it.
Do you know I weren't until about 3 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago, yeah, probably. I watched a documentary on YouTube and then I watched Netflix's Drive to Survive, which is a 3-season thing where they follow the F1 behind the scenes. So they follow like the life of the drivers and it just gives you a different perspective on what Formula 1 is. I thought Formula 1 was the fastest car wins. You watch that and you sort of understand the intricacies to it, what the drivers have to go through, how fit they have to be, how clever they've got to be to work the steering wheel. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more to the sport, and I got my brother into it. He loves it now, and I've just got this mad appreciation for it now. It's just ridiculous. And I think this year's just, obviously you've had the rise of Max Verstappen to challenge Lewis Hamilton, so it's become. I
was going to say that's what fascinates me when I do. Like I say, I do watch it sometimes. I'm not like proper into it, but what fascinates me is a subject that comes up quite a lot in the Sportscast is the ego side of it. You see these arguments that go on between them, and it must be hard because you obviously have 2 members, don't you, in each team?
Yeah.
And it's
quite unique in that sense because it's a team sport, but it's an individual sport at the same time. So you're trying to win for your team, but you're also trying to beat your teammate, because if he starts beating you all the time, he's the number 1 driver.
He's then suddenly you got to let him win almost.
So obviously Valtteri Bottas, who's now moving, who's the number 2 to Lewis Hamilton, he's got the second best job on the grid, but he's also got the worst job on the grid because he can never live up to Hamilton, but he's in the second best car. Do you know what I mean?
It's a mad one, isn't it?
It's very, very, very difficult, but obviously this rise of Max Verstappen, who is a potential, going to go down with the greats if he carries on going the way he is, and his battle now with Lewis Hamilton this year for the World Championship is just fascinating. And then obviously he crashed with Lewis this weekend.
Seen it.
And Lewis was within, the halo saved him from, obvious death.
That photo started getting sent in. I think you might have sent me that halo thing. Mad, isn't it?
That missed, his head was gone.
That tie was landing on his head.
And that all happens in that fast. Obviously they got the 4K cameras and everything's like slowed down and all that, but it happens that quick. And in my team, McLaren, who I love, won.
Did they?
Yeah, so that was the first time he won in a long time. But
I think I had a bad experience. I got to go and watch the F1 at Silverstone and I hated it because it was just too... I was in a wheelchair at the time. I'd not long been blown up. and they took all loads of injured soldiers down to watch it. We were all in like our wheelchairs and stuff, and got like rolled down and just like pretty much put on the track. Wasn't like VIP or not, it was like right next to the track. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, mate, you're all right. And then it starts and you just there, and you could not hear yourself think. And I was just like, this is shit.
Yeah, I think.
And it just put me off.
It was just them.
I need to get into it. Maybe I need to watch these documentaries.
Watch that Netflix thing, Drive to Survive. I think there's 3 seasons now. 4 seasons being filmed as we speak. And it just gives you a different appreciation of the sport. And I think it's one of them. It's a bit like me. Like, I love F1 and rugby league, but like the minimal sports. You know what I mean? There's not. You don't go down the booze and go, do you watch Max Verstappen?
Yeah.
Unless you're from posh part of the world, Monte Carlo or something. But it's just one of them. But I think there's the fascinating sport, and especially from an ego and a character point of view.
Yeah, you can appreciate it, can't you?
Yeah, and I watched the Michael Schumacher documentary last night, and the fact that they're so close to death every single second of their job. It is literally,
Yeah, you get something wrong, it's curtains.
Even stuff like, we spoke about the kid Billy Monger who was on his way, and he crashed and he lost both his legs, and his life took a dramatic, and his crash by all accounts was pretty bad, but it weren't seen as, God, that was a terrible crash. It was seen as,
we've seen worse.
There's a crash there, but look at, he's lost. I know he's forged a brilliant career for himself, and he's sort of looking to go to Paralympics and stuff, but it's that, you know what I mean? It's not like these crashes aren't, God, that was, even Senna back in the day when he'd had, people were saying it, like when they got out the cars and stuff, they were like, it was a bad crash, like, but, he'd be okay. Obviously passed away, but it's such a
different mindset in it to be doing that.
Such a ferocious sport, like.
Yeah.
And it's this mad thing of, the fastest car just wins. It just doesn't.
No. Yeah, no, I'll be getting into them then. So yeah, we will start touching more on F1. So boxing, tennis, F1, obviously the Premier League.
Back to our love.
Probably start with Everton on the Monday night.
Loving it. Number 1.
You know what I done the bet? I done the -2.
Did you?
So I lost on the bet, but I thought he'd win.
Yeah. I had the Mari Gray in Fancy League, which is for another episode, but I was loving that.
I saw that. When he scored, I thought, he's fucking got him. He's fucking got him, Jordan.
Everton looked really good, mate. Like
Rafa's second best half-time team talk.
Yeah. Someone said, have you ever seen a better system?
I've seen that.
But, the thing with Rafa is, I think the fans are getting behind it because he is on the touchline and he is,
barking orders.
And he's impacting the game as well. He made changes that then put Everton into the lead, and I think Everton are starting to look like they're going to act on the promise that they've had. You know what I mean? The likes of Damari Gray, CURRAGH, who I think is a really good player. They're just starting to look like, they're not going to win the league, but maybe they could put something together here.
I think top 6 now. If they carry on the way they are, I didn't think they could get anywhere near it, to be honest. Well, I did, but the top 4 I think speaks for itself. Then you've got I thought Tottenham and Leicester straight away. There's your 5 and 6. I thought, and then it was going to take something. But if Everton are playing as they are,
I think the fans now are in a position where we all know this thing of Everton can be their own worst enemy and all that. But the noise even that you could hear through the TV when they went 2-1 up. I mean, if that ground gets behind the team and behind it's we like to talk about having a 12th man and all that stuff, but Everton can be that. Although it can be toxic, it can also be, it can get rocking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard CURRAGH say it loads, that good, it's horrible to play there. It's horrible, and I think if they can get that horrible for the away end, but but their own players can start to feel that love, I think they'll be a real force. I think it'll be a real tricky away for most teams, and they could maybe break into that top 6.
I hope they do. I hope not more than Liverpool and Everton being both competitive, but
be great to see them in Europe.
Rafa's really so far anyway, he's silencing a lot. I think people thought he was going in there for a bit of an oldie, but he looks like...
No, he means business money, yeah.
I know it's going to be different when he comes to Anfield, and when they do hit a bit of a rocky patch, which they will. But, at the moment, if you'd never...
He's given himself some breathing room anyway.
If you're an Everton fan, though, this weekend, heading into this weekend...
Top.
Yeah, you're flying, aren't you, mate? But, moving on to Burnley, what did you think of Tarkowski's tackle on Richarlison?
I've seen them debate it loads on Monday Night Football, and I want to be really boring and sit on the fence because I kind of, again, boringly agreed with Neville and CURRAGH. Like, it's just those days are gone, and I'm sorry, but it's gone. Like, they were like 2,000 tackles, 2,000, you know, that was my Sunday League tackle, yes, got the ball, boom. But I think it was one of them, Neville or CURRAGH, I can't remember. These are, you know, most athletes now, footballers, they're 6'1", 6'2", 13, 14 stone of pure muscle, running at you at high speeds, you know, with studs on coming at you. Yes, you may get the ball first, but there's still 12, 13, 14 stone of muscle flying at you, and it's going to take you out the second it's hit the ball. And for that reason, it's like, well, yeah, it might get the crowd going, and yeah, it might seem a fair tackle, but it is pretty dangerous.
Do you not think it's easy to say why you're in a suit, though? Do you think...
Of course.
CURRAGH was playing soccer aid and was throwing tackles in. Once you're in the blood of a game...
Doesn't mean it's right, though.
Yeah, I don't see what... Because I know it's like saying, oh, but if he did get it wrong, he would have broke his leg. But then you could also say, if you jump a second too late for a header, you could break someone's skull. And we've seen more fractured skulls than we've seen broken legs in recent years. Have we not? Like, you know...
Arguably, yeah. But even if but there's a chance he could get the ball and still break his leg. He could get the ball first, great tackle, and still break his leg.
But if we stop that and we live in fear of, you can't do them tackles because if you get it wrong, it can go really wrong. If we set that precedent, you have to then ban heading as well, because if you time a header a second wrong, you could head the back of his head and smash his skull to bits. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, fair point. And
but that's what that's where I'm at with it. I think there's a place for them tackles in the game. I agree, most of them, yeah, maybe they should be yellows, no problem, but you can't stop it because you then set a precedent where it becomes a non-contact sport. And I think...
What will be interesting, you made a good point then, it's easy to say it in suits. It'd be easy if it is a Liverpool United game and a similar tackle goes in.
But it's the same thing like what we were speaking the other week, because, you know, when Fabinho smashed Suarez, which was, you know, what they're talking about on M&F was pretty reckless, but he won the ball just. Everyone in the ground stood up and applauded it. But if that was Burnley doing it to Mo Salah, everyone's like, that's terrible, you don't do that. And exact same with Ashley Barnes when he threw thing on the floor. We all cheered when Robertson smacked Messi's head down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And like
we've all got to get comfy with. We like it when it's us, but we don't like it when it's against us.
Well, Neville said, didn't he? He'd done a tackle 100 times. I remember CURRAGH on Nanny, and Nanny started crying. You know, they've all.
He did cry.
He did cry. Apparently, Rooney went up to him and went, lad, he's fucking crying. No, I do think there is a place for it. There is a place. But I can't see why they're all a bit flapping about it, because again, I think athletes, no disrespect to the likes of CURRAGH and Neville, they obviously were athletes still then, but I don't know, the game seems to be faster, stronger, more powerful now, and if you are getting it wrong, you are probably hitting someone like that.
I agree, but I'm scared that it's going to get... I don't think you can ever think if you get it wrong, because
we've just been speaking about F1. You could go, well, there's a chance you might crash, so let's not fucking drive.
If we all start erring on the side of caution in sport, we then lose the competitive edge, which makes sport. In terms of, like, you know, the worst injury this season is Harvey Elliott, and it was the softest tackle of the year. Do you know what I mean? Like
that cause, do you think that was a red?
No.
I've seen loads of on Twitter. I didn't even think it was a foul.
No. I mean,
arguably you come from behind, like behind the side.
I think he was just done, wasn't he? He got past him, he got his body in. And the defender was just like, you've got past me, so I'm going to bring you down. But you could do that. Someone did it in the corner on Manny about 5 minutes later. Manny jumped up.
I've seen it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a freak injury, but that's my point. Like, that's the worst injury this year so far. And I've seen 50 worse tackles. And it's just like...
It's going to be interesting how they start policing it, because if there is going to be a clamp down on it, is the what? I don't know.
I think it's tough on the refs as well, because... Last year they were too harsh. This year,
no, the rest must be going, what the fuck do you want me to do?
Mike Dean did a thing with, you know, Tubes. Obviously, you know the podcast. He does this golf thing now on YouTube, and Mike Dean did a thing with him where he went on the golf course with him. And Tube said to him, "Why don't you do interviews and stuff?" And he said, "Because they don't want to interview me and have a good game."
Really? Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
And she was like, well, yeah, fair enough. And that's so true. They only want to do it when
a big contentious decision's gone
exactly, on. Yeah, and he's going to get...
Imagine if there'd been a derby, great derby, I don't know, 2-2 derby, last minute winner, and he was like, you know what, you ref that great.
Because I truly believe the standard of reffing is going, especially in the Champions League, the Euros was the same. Where it's like, you know, the standard of reffing is going up. And, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of people, you know, at grassroots level, it's completely done because, you know, you get paid 12 quid to get some dad telling you he's going to smash it.
He's going to meet you in the car park.
Under 12s, but like the standard of refs at professional level is definitely going up.
There's that ref, don't know his name, but he done the Liverpool-Barca game, brilliant.
Yeah.
And he tells Messi at one point to stop being like disrespectful or something. Or
yeah, he celebrates too slow, yeah. But he's the guy, you know, what's his name? It's definitely him. He's worth like 500 million or something.
Is he, yeah?
He runs, or he sold his business for like a serious amount of money, and but at a young age, like 40, and then went to be a ref.
Really, yeah?
Yeah. And like...
So when they're like, oh lad, he's like, listen,
yeah,
shut up, lad.
And I think that's what
you can come and stay in my house,
yeah.
Messi.
How much you want Messi?
Yeah.
But it's one of them things, like, I don't think they can win, and
No.
I just think that we need the physical side of football, and you know, maybe that's just me trying to like cling on to the old school, but I think, you know... Yeah,
and there'll be a lot of people like you, me included, and I am probably 60-40, now that we've started speaking. I'm probably not on the fence, I've got my prosthetic leg probably in your fucking camp now, but yeah, I'm probably 60-40, I would like it to stay the old way, but I can understand the caution because, you know, the big old lads flying in.
I think, you know what, it's my year, because I'm so into rugby league and I'm always dancing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm caught between two sports.
I think I don't know if I said it, I done a talk for Warrington Wolves, and I come in at half time and I'm in the changes with them, and the manager's going, yeah, fucking, and they're sitting there, they're all like fucking concussed, you know what I mean? They're like,
oh, mate.
But big lads, I follow them a load on Instagram and stuff now.
Yeah.
Great lads, by the way, like speak to quite a few of them, amazing lads. Mate, the fucking shine, there's blood coming from them. And they're going, come on, Jono, you done well then. And he's like, yeah, boss, yeah. He's got like an ice pack on his neck. He's got stitches going in his eye, yeah.
Oh, mate. Friday night.
Oh, it's madness.
Honestly, Friday night to St. Helens, I live for it, you know.
But I understand you're coming from, because you're seeing that and you're going, lad, come on, fuck me.
And if you went down in that game soft, you don't want to worry about the opposition. Your own fucking captain will punch it up. Yeah. And it's just, you know, there's a lad who listens loads to the podcast, always sends messages and stuff, and he goes down to St. Helens as well. I spoke to him loads there, and it's just like, honest to God, it's like that is a gladiatorial sport.
Oh yeah.
And everyone says to me, like, I get loads of stick from my mates about watching St. Helens and loving it, and I just say, just go.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know the rules, or you want to watch a neutral sport, on the weekend, it's the last game of the regular season, but watch rugby league. You will not find a more entertaining neutral sport.
Yeah, no, mate, listen, you don't have to sell it to me. I'm on it. My surgeon loves rugby union. It was a bit different to league, but he introduced me to that, and I got to work with Scott Cornell and Will Greenwood for a bit. What dawned on me is how big these are.
Oh, mate.
But not how big they are then, how fast they can run.
Jeez.
You think of a big, you know, you go in your local boozer, a big fat bastard. You know, he's big and fat and heavy. These are big and tall, but muscle. And they can run the same fucking speed as you, if not faster, and they're running into you.
Our prop, Alex Walmsley's 6'8", I think. And in rugby league, they've developed this rule called 6 again, so the game doesn't stop. If there's an infringement, your tackles just start again. So the game is basically 80 minutes of... So if you imagine that's the pitch, and it's not great for the camera, but it's there. There's not much stopping. I mean, he comes off every now and then, but other than that, there, back.
Mad, isn't it?
And it's just, you know, the machines.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When I was at Loughborough, I had the pleasure of England Rugby Union team training there. And I don't know what I was doing. I think I was in the gym with the footy team, and I come out and everyone had left, and I watched Owen Farrell.
Oh wow.
just him kicking for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something. And I had a meal deal from the shop, and I sat and watched him. So I had a meal deal. It was a butty crisp and like a drink. And I just sat, and he just, for like half an hour, 45 minutes, mate, he just kicked balls constantly, going through his little routine. And I watch on the TV now, he like looks up and like, he visions the ball before he kicks it and stuff, and he was just doing it constantly. And that was when I found another, as I was saying about the F1 before, that's when I found another appreciation for that as well, because you think, I kicked that over there.
What gave me a new appreciation for it was when I spoke to Scott Quinnell, he's a mate of mine. I'll have to get him on the pod actually. You know, absolute legend in Welsh rugby, played for the British Lions as well. So, you know, top guy in rugby. And he said one of the biggest questions, I can't remember his rival, but there was like other rival from like New Zealand who used to always come up against, and he used to say, you know, what you do when you're running at so-and-so, you've got the ball, he's going to tackle you, you know, what you do, what you feel, you know. And he went, the same thing you'd feel, I'd run the other fucking way. And he's like, you know, just because I'm fucking 6'6" and 20 stones doesn't mean I want to get hit by him who's 6'6" and 20 stone. And it's just that funny thing of, I know it's going to hurt still, but, you know.
The best thing about rugby as well, which is the thing that endeared me to it, is the respect side of it.
Oh, yeah.
You will never hear... So all rugby league, you know, I'm quite biased rugby league, but all rugby league refs are mic'd up. So when they go to their version of VAR, you'll see a try go down, for example, right, and then you'll realise it's going to VAR. You hear the ref say, so just for example, he'll say, right, I've given a try, but I'm not quite sure if the ball went down. Could you just check it for me? Not a single player is running over saying,
seeing it, yeah.
Fuck you, cunt, this. They're just saying, okay, and then you'll hear the other guy go, all right, let me just look at this camera, blah, 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 oh, can't see it. Yeah, the ball was down, it's a try, good. But in that, the reason they're allowed to be mic'd up is because you don't have players calling them.
They get sent off, don't they? If they swear and stuff.
If he just says go away, and they call him sir, and it's like, but if he went over to him and said, if you did it, you'd obviously get the odd one, he'd just go sound, see you later, no problem. And like, it's just...
There was this great, like, my surgeon used to introduce me to all this, and he'd tell stories and stuff, and and there's like, you know, Martin Johnson won like the World Cup and stuff, and then he'd come over and the referee would be going, Martin, go away, but you think like his name's John, like Gerard, or like you think of the surnames, and they're going, Martin, go away, mate. And he's like, sorry sir, whatever, like, and the respect's brilliant.
It's a different culture though, because you're brought up, don't get me wrong, like there's a rugby club right next to my house and I watch them quite a lot, and you do get the odd parent who shouts on, but it's not like football in terms of, you know, like, I'm glad I'm going to smash your head in, and it's, you know.
But even at the top level, there's that famous story of the All Blacks sweeping up the changing rooms afterwards and stuff, you know.
And it's a culture, but I think football, especially now with the introduction of VAR, could learn so much from it.
I don't think they'll ever have the balls to make
no, they
the
wouldn't,
refs
because every player would be banned.
Yeah.
Even, and I love him, but even Henderson, like a decision went against him yesterday, and you can see him verbally saying mad stuff to the ref.
Fuck off, ref.
But we all say Henderson's a great captain, Henderson leads by example, but then if you put a mic on, you'd probably go, Henderson is a great captain, but he did call the ref. Do you know what I mean? It's just a different culture, but it's something that footy, I reckon, could definitely learn from.
No, I agree.
But hopefully I'm in a bit of a rock and a hard place, because the night we're going to Smith Fowler is the grand final night of the rugby league. I haven't missed the grand final, well, before COVID, a long time.
Well, I hope you get beat beforehand so you don't make the final for
I'm going to semi though, if anyone wants to come.
Yeah.
Got a home semi-final because we come second in the league.
I'll come to semi, lad.
Yeah?
When is it?
Be in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be there.
Friday night. And you can drink at your seat. How about that?
Beer and live sport. I was saying, you know, I just love live sport.
Oh, mate,
obviously, it's why we do the sportscast, but I mean...
As I say, the plan for us is to obviously be on the road as much as we can. Go to all these events and, you know, get involved with it and take the people with us. But there's nothing better. No better thrill than watching live, especially top level.
On that note as well, just a bit of a thank you, really. this weekend kind of got like, you know, after a beer, I was at Chester Races, which was great, and then a few beers in Liverpool, and there was quite a lot of people who referenced the podcast and just said really nice things about it, have a laugh to it and stuff, so it does mean a lot, people listening to it and supporting it. Like I always say, I'd do it anyway, and I'm sure we'd meet up anyway and talk shite for an hour, but the fact that a lot of people are enjoying it is great. So at one point on Sunday, someone come up to me and said, I can't remember your name, mate, sorry, but I was in the Hyperbar in Bootle and someone went, lad, the Sportscast is great, you're shite, but that Jordan knows his stuff, doesn't he? I went, fucking nice one. So anyway, the support is great, that people enjoy it.
I usually get the opposite thing. Someone stopped me in the co-op the other day by my house and just like, was just like, he said to me, you off that podcast? And I said, I'm off a podcast. I don't know whether it's the one.
Just a lad with one leg.
And he was like, no, not the Sportcast. I said, oh yeah. He said, just boss that, mate. That was it. But
no,
it's just
great.
them little...
No, it's great that people enjoy it, mate. And I genuinely do mean, you know, I would meet up with you once a week and talk shite, but the fact that people enjoy it's great.
I think the great thing is though, like, you know, obviously going off sport, we don't really do it for views or to be like, you know, to get recognised or anything like that. Just...
The freebie is nice, I'll be honest.
Miss that fella with the bought me stuff at the court, like, it's about 40 quid.
I'll buy that milk for you.
Mr. like that, what's going on?
I'll buy the milk and the bread and the bacon, lad, go on.
And the queue, like, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I go, no, I don't get paid, you know.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it is great, like, and we, as I say, we literally are just...
That's a good laugh, innit? It is a good laugh. Sports being kind as well, Champions League this week.
Yeah.
Interesting game at Liverpool. I did say I fancied Liverpool putting 2 or 3 past Milan, which they did. I also said they keep a clean sheet, which they did not. I want to put that down to Van Dijk. You know, Matip, great. Gomez obviously not being back in a while. Funny old game, but listen, they got the 3 points in the end.
Yeah, I think, you know, it was all positive. I just think it shone a bit of a light on outside of our 11, you know what I mean? Like, it just, in terms of like, I know I always bang on about him, and, you know, Keita and that, they're just not good enough to play.
I don't think anyone's got positive things to say about him at the minute.
He's fucking crap, lad. We just need to say it as he is crap. And he's walking around in number 8.
I know. It's the fact he's got number 8 on, isn't it?
But he's just not good. He's just simply not good enough, do you know what I mean?
He's literally got the number of the greatest ever Liverpool player.
Why take it? You know you're crap. But the thing is, like, he's played for Liverpool now for about fucking 10 years. When did we sign him? Being that like Paddy Baker playing.
I think he was on the same deal as Bruno Cheru, Anthony Latella, and fucking Simon and Pongola.
Him and fucking Hossamy come in from wherever they come from, but he's just...
Mate, everyone hates him, don't they? I don't know whether everyone, but a lot of my friends...
I watched the match, right? I was watching it last night, and I'm thinking, yeah, Keita's playing garbage.
And I'm not one to hate on the Liverpool players, by the way.
I'm not, but you've just got to call it fucking shit, haven't you? And
I think the phrase is a spade.
Yeah, I was looking for that. But so I went on Twitter and I thought, Keita, boss in the midfield.
Oh, what? Twitter was saying he was good?
James, what's his name? James Pearce.
Yeah.
Guy writes for Liverpool.
The Athletic.
He wrote, tireless Keita shines for Liverpool.
Nah, I wouldn't have said that.
Like 90 grand a year to write about Liverpool, if not more.
James Pearce, when he was in the Echo, he's writes for the Athletic now.
I'm fucking tired watching him. No, tireless.
Fucking how did he write that?
Yeah, tireless.
Yeah, no, mate, I don't know, in my circles I speak to football people with, he's not well thought of.
But I just think, like, you know, if you go Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip, who's been fucking unbelievable, Robertson, Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson, Salah, Mane, Firmino, Jota, / whoever you pick. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's the next bit.
I just don't think the squad's as bad as people are making out.
No, it's not. It's when like 4 come out.
Yeah, that's right. That's the point I was going to make. But if they drop 1 or 2, I think they get away with it. When they bring 3 or 4 out, that's when I think you can go, oh, fucking hell.
Do you know what frustrates me as well? Do you know when Firmino's fit? Jota's fucking unreal.
Yeah. It's when you've got no option and it's got to be Jota, that's when he's a bit...
And then you think, like, come on, do what you were doing 2 weeks ago.
Listen, mate, I'm not even going to get... I know you're not slagging them, but I'm not even going to get drawn onto anyone saying that the Reds aren't mustard. Alisson, best keeper in the world. Van Dijk, best defender in the world. Matip, second best defender in the Premier League anyway. Trent, best right back in the world. Robbo, one of the best fullbacks in the world. Fabinho, best defensive midfielder in the world. Thiago, absolute baller. Endo, I mean, what a captain. I mean, he's just a great leader. Mo, one of the best strikers in the world, even though he's not a striker. And I think Jota, Mane, Bobby are all on the day, can pull it out the bag. Don't fucking moan about the Reds. The Reds are on fire.
I do totally agree, and we started really well. But what do you make of like Thiago just getting nailed all the time? Like he plays well, and like he don't hear nothing. Does anything wrong? And I was like, too slow. Doesn't do this. Doesn't do that.
I've not seen that much negative stuff about him.
It was only when Redknapp brought it up. Actually, Jamie Redknapp. He was like everyone's looking for a scapegoat, and then because against Leeds he was brilliant. And then
I think though, mate, within the squad and the manager, they look at him and they're like, they know. Yeah. Like, and it's one of those things when you know we're in the club, someone's mustered, you're like, I don't give a fuck what the press is saying. Like,
the stats between him and Fabinho are ridiculous.
Crazy.
They played 9 games together.
Crazy.
That's bad, innit? Like when you think about it.
I just think, mate, just go under the radar as the Reds are and happy.
Them 9 games, 8 wins, 1 draw, I think it was, since when they've played midfield.
And you know what? They've drawn against Chelsea, so
I'm taking them 2 with Henderson. Keep everyone fit. Got a right chance.
It's exciting times for the Reds. I think it's good to go, mate. I think Ronaldo, obviously, 2 games, 3 goals. Was that not the bet of the weekend? First goal. There's just certain.
Captain him and fancy.
Did you put him in your team?
No. I thought he was going to flop.
There are certain people, right, who are born. Steven Gerrard's one of them. Cristiano Ronaldo's another. Who just like moments are made for them. Things happen in life, and God just goes, Stevie, step up, lad. Cristiano, go on. Things happen in life where me and you just could not dream of it.
Fucking hates me though that he's going to be unreal, you know.
But he is unreal. And listen, I'm not bitter towards that.
I celebrated young boy's goal like it was Liverpool in the Champions League final, you know, when Lingard gave it away.
Yeah.
Loved it. I'm not bitter until it comes to Man United.
I know, and I'm with you, and I'm the same.
I can't say it though.
But lad, he's boss, lad.
Garbage.
Cristiano's unreal.
Shite, Messi's well better.
I agree Messi's better, but lad,
he's fucking boss, like, isn't he?
He's boss. One other thing on the footy.
Why? He's about 45. Just retire.
I know.
I'm bringing me more pain.
One other thing before we look towards the weekend, what I thought was hilarious was Man City, Champions League. They've got the most expensive squad ever assembled in world football, and they were about 10 or 15,000 spare seats in the ground. To which Pep comes out at the end of the game and begs for fans to turn up on Saturday. That is, I said to you before, it's the equivalent of having your mate's getting married, and you think, right, I've got 2 birds to choose from. I'm going to bring a worldie. Just so everyone looks at me and go, oh, lad, how the fuck have you pulled her? She's, lad, a worldie. Right?
I loved it.
And it looks great. It looks great. And the ego feels great that you're with this bird. You come home, the door shuts, and she goes, don't even fucking speak to me. And she just storms off. You sleep in separate beds. And
Story
that's
in my
it.
life, that.
That's Man City. You don't even get to, like, you've got this, but you're not enjoying it. Liverpool are like, she's not the 10 out of 10, the Man City of that financially assembled squad. She's a proper strong 8. But she, all your mates love her. She's the star of the party. You have a laugh together. She's at the air drinking pints with you, you're having a laugh. Your family love her. She's a boss laugh. You get home and she's just the best bird ever. She's swinging from the lampshade.
You're telling that down.
I know, yeah. And then she's getting up in the morning making it a boss brekkie. That's Liverpool. Fuck having that 10 out of 10. Like, that's what Man City have got. They've got this team who are unreal. On the eye, and they can't even be asked to go and fucking watch it. It makes me sick.
The fact he's begging for them
he
to
begs,
go.
Lad, have you not seen it? He actually says, please, come on. Let's come on. The players are tired. Lad, you've played 6 games this season.
Imagine being the player. I know the players probably...
Oh, they're not asked,
they're not asked, but you must think, though.
I only think they're asked when they go on international duty. or when they watch in the spare time when they're sitting in the fucking mansions and they look at, you know, Liverpool montages, they might go, there's a bit of them that might go, that'd be good, that. And then the fucking waiter brings over the caviar and they go, actually, you know what, about that last.
It was like I was saying to you today, though, like, I was saying I'm going to buy a ticket for Man City PSG to go and watch Messi. And I don't care where to sit, whether I sit with fucking Man City fans or not.
You could do that though, yeah.
But I say to...
But try and get a ticket for Liverpool fucking Burnley and you're fucking waiting 10 years.
Exactly.
It's mad, isn't it?
Just, well, it's... I don't know how it's got to that point, because when you look at Main Road and stuff, back in the day, they had a serious fan base. And they weren't like a joke of a club back then.
They are a joke now, though.
But now, but where have all them people gone?
We died.
Probably.
It's been a while, lad. It's been a while.
Yeah. But surely the fucking, like, generation, it just feels like...
Don't know.
They got to, like, when they started getting good and everyone just pieced it off. But, yeah, you can literally buy them on Groupon.
Oh, I fucking hate them, lad.
Imagine buying Liverpool tickets on Groupon.
It's a joke.
Be loving it.
Joke.
We had every game. Well, yeah, Pep, like...
I feel sorry for Pep sometimes.
Yeah, fair play to him, having a go, like, trying to get them in, but...
Anyway.
Yeah, they're going to swat Southampton this weekend, though.
What have we got on this weekend? So the Red Men are at home to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure who Everton have got.
No. But I don't think there's not... Everton are at home to... No, they're away to Aston Villa. Away to Aston Villa on Sunday, I think. Oh, no, they are 5 on Saturday.
Are they?
Yeah, away to Aston Villa. Because I've got Danny Ings in my fantasy team.
And there you go. Anyone who's not on that, we do a little 10-minute fantasy football episode if anyone's on fancy footy.
Serious cash.
Yeah. Anyway.
But, yeah. So they've got it's a decent week, isn't it, of Prem footy? But
Prem footy's decent. Any boxing?
No, nothing. We're just leading up to, obviously, Joshua Usyk next week. Which is going to be...
Yeah, I'm excited for the UFC boxing stuff to start.
Yeah, so next week you've got a UFC pay-per-view card. Volkanovski, Ortega, plus like the return of Nick Diaz. So that's massive next week. Obviously Joshua Usyk, which is massive. Obviously Callum Smith on the undercard under Buddy McGirt, which is big for Liverpool. And then obviously we're rolling in 2 weeks later, Smith Fowler, Fury Wilder. Just fucking loving it. But this week it's a bit quieter. We've got UFC, Smith versus Ryan Spann, Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann, which is a good fight, a good card actually, for like the diehard. Well, for people to catch up on Sunday. Usually though, do you know what the mad thing is? Do you know these cards are the cards I win on the most?
Well, fucking give us your fucking bets then.
I'm telling you. I'll put them up on Friday because it's a smaller card, you don't quite get the markets. But these lower cards, like the fight nights that no one's Arsenal's, I seem to win loads on. I've had some bad luck lately though, you know.
You have? Fucking hell.
I was looking back.
Alba's been eating beans on toast for fucking weeks.
Likes it though. But so I keep like a spreadsheet of the boxing and UFC bets that I have, because personally I do it like to make money. I had the fucking luck I've had. Honest to God. The other day, I had an in-play bet at 20-1 for this girl to beat Ebony Bridges on points, and she won the fucking fight. 20-1, and I only had £20 on it. But it was the bet, like... Yeah,
it's the bet to do.
And she
Thanks for texting me that, Joe. Appreciate it, lad.
Yeah, so, but they fucking lost, so it was no good. But, yeah, and then obviously Lara got that cut.
I was on that way, yeah. That was fucking heartbreaking, because I thought that might have come in there.
Till, who I was convinced on the UFC.
Yeah, I was on that as well, yeah.
But I put a big old thing on that. I've had some bad luck, but next week, we got...
What I'm going to start doing on my tips as well, because I know me and you and our bets that we do together, we had a few looks. I normally do 3 homes, 3 aways, and then roll up in a 6-fold. So on a Saturday, I'll maybe put that out on the Leg It Sportcast, on the Leg It Instagram.
Yeah.
That's a few.
Yeah, well, we do that because I'll put the UFC and the boxing ones on my Instagram, but then we put it on the podcast one.
Okay, we do that.
I've got like quite a few people who like follow especially the UFC ones.
Okay.
So we'll put it up, but
let's do that.
Yeah, I mean we've done well.
Me and Jordan have a little. Maybe that's what we could do. Maybe drop us a message if you want us to, don't know, think of something to do. But me and Jordan have our own little betting thing together, and we do all right.
Especially when we stick to footy and boxing and UFC. Yeah. Stay away from the horses, people.
The odd horses laid us astray. Dragon symbol.
Yeah, he come 4th again last weekend, but we're not talking about it.
No. No.
But,
Gary Judge, shout out to Gary, text me and, lad, I'm done with the Dragon now. I said, that's so mate.
Next season, man.
Next season.
Oh, yeah. Good old Dragon. So let's give us some days, like.
Yeah. It's the hope. We can live for the hope, lad. Anything else we want to finish up on?
No, just proper general week, innit? But yeah, I say next week's going to be massive.
It's been a good week of sport. Hopefully some good Premier League action ahead. And again, just proper, so much appreciation for anyone who listens to the podcast in general, especially the Sportscast, which we do every Friday. We do the fantasy football episode, which is out at midday on a Friday. And we've just actually finished a podcast with John Culshaw, who is the artist who's been doing loads of murals in the city. Boss fella, proper scouser, dead humble. Good laugh on it.
Oh, mate, proper. Just as you say, scouts as they come.
Scouts as they come, yeah.
A brilliant fella.
He's just done the latest Steven Gerrard mural on the standing. Boss fella. That's out on Monday. So yeah, keep supporting, keep liking it. If you really, really, really like it, you can click the link and go onto Patreon and give us £1 a week. That's all we ask. It just helps support the running costs of the pod. But even if you don't, we still love your support. So nice one. Keep supporting, and we see you next week.